Some very exciting battles this week in the CWL, including some Town Hall 10 epicness. What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here and welcome to this week's CWL matchup against Faked Wrgsm. As you can see, we did come out on top for this one, winning the war 109 to 108. Some brilliant attacks by both clans. As you can see, we actually lost out very slightly on total destruction, so that extra star managed to get us the victory. Just before we start, if any of you guys are interested in joining Elite Gaming, you can see all of our feeder clan information to the right hand side of this video. So we'll start off with a couple of Town Hall 10 versus Town Hall 10 Triples, and we'll also move down to a couple of very impressive Town Hall 9 attacks, and I am going to start bringing some Town Hall 9 Best Strategy Series, so make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already in order to stay up to date with all of them videos. So starting out with this one, we're going to start on base number 10. This is by Foggy, and he is coming at this base with the Dragons and Valkyries. Now, we did have a couple of other attacks at this base before we finally clocked it, and what I really like is how we take advantage of all of these buildings on the outside, something you may have been a little bit used to now with the builder base, which is very helpful in order to take out them outside buildings. It also is obviously important within war. So here, we're just taking out the outside trash buildings. That's going to help with funneling more than anything else, but obviously does help with percent. We're already at 20%, bringing in a couple of golems from the top here, along with the bowlers, Valkyries, and the heroes, and there's nowhere else for them to go. All of them outside trash buildings you will see are down, so the troops are literally just going to be thrown straight down the base here. So as soon as that Inferno Tower goes down, we go ahead and use a heal spell, which is very helpful there, just to boost our Valkyries and bowlers back up, because they really do take a lot of damage, guys. You can see the jump spells helping the troops forward as well, and the great thing about this is the golems for a start, but then the Valkyries as well, running out ahead because they're so quick, have managed to help our heroes. So the king here is still at full health, and that is actually what helps to push us through this area thick of archer towers, with the queen at the back there just helping out. We came very close just before this attack to getting the 3-star. I believe it was just shy of 90%, but it was basically these archer towers here which stopped us from getting it. And in this attack, the Valkyries running out ahead, ensuring that the king was at full health, meant that we could get right the way through, and you'll see in the end there's absolutely no issue. So many troops left up, made it look so impressive. So on this one, guys, make sure to check them buildings before you make your attack. Proper scouting to see which buildings you can take out for free percentage, but also which ones you can actually take out in order to help funnel your troops. So on to the next Town Hall 10 Triple. This one equally as impressive. I love seeing the dragons used, especially at Town Hall 10. I have showcased them in a few other videos. I'll link one of them in the top right there now. But I just love watching the dragons tear apart bases at Town Hall 10. So again on this one, we're really just creating a bit of a funnel here, sniping off any of these free buildings, and you'll see that we're pushing the queen in primarily to the air defense at the bottom here, and to take out this bottom section of the base. Because with dragons, what you really need to do, guys, is make sure you can control them. So check this out, the queen is coming right into the south. We've already made a bit of a funnel there using the wizard, so she's not going to be drawn up the side of the base. She's actually going to be drawn into this area, and that's exactly what we need, because we need to crack open the core of the base here. Not necessarily the core of the base, sorry, this corner of the base, in order to control the dragons through the rest. So we do have an earthquake spell in the middle there, just getting extra damage, and we're being very patient whilst the queen walks around this bottom half of the base, and you'll see across the middle there's quite a big gap here where we then have the thick of buildings at the top. So that's really where we're going to bring the dragons in order to get through that thickness of defences. So the king up the top there, just taking out them buildings to make sure that the dragons aren't going to be drawn off to the side and they can get to them defences as soon as possible. The balloons at the very north taking out that air defence. Here come the dragons. As soon as that funnel is created, guys, if you're using dragons, you then need to get them in. And check that out. There is nowhere else for the dragons to go at this point other than the defences. So it really is controlling the troops and the AI in order to get them over them defences. So you can see as the dragons come forward, blasting the area with rage spells in order to push them through the defences. The final one used there to get them right to that final Inferno Tower and Archer Towers. And at this point, with so many dragons left up, the Queen just barely keeping on alive, did have to use a rage spell over on her as well. But the dragons come over and help out, and in the end, again, so many troops left up, made this look so impressive. But I really like how the base was broken apart, again taking out them buildings in order to control the pathing of the dragons. So how about we move on to a couple of Town Hall 9 attacks, and like I said, I am going to showcase other Town Hall 9 attacks from this war within separate videos. Let's take you straight onto another dragon attack, then we will bring you a Witch Slap strategy alongside a GoHo. So for this one, you can see this is trying to defend against the Lava Loon style attack, but often they can leave themselves wide open to dragons. So using the Zap Quake method, we're able to take out 2 air defense down in the south of the base, and then the Archer Queen here over in the east is able to push in to get the other air defense in this area. So at this point, we're just being patient, using the king over on the opposite side. That is again to control the dragons. You will see the storages out on the corner of the base there. You don't want the dragons getting held up on them storages whilst they're trying to push through the base. So you'll see we used a couple down in the south here to create the funnel, and then a couple in the west as well, just to create that funnel so the bulk of them can go right into this area where it is, again, very thick of defences. So the Archer Queen has gone down, but she's done her job brilliantly there. A couple of balloons just to take out that wizard tower over on the corner there, and then the dragons are pushing their way right the way through. So we're using rage spells to help them through, and just check out how we still have a plan for this air defense. It's not like, even though it didn't go down, it's not like we forgot about it. So the Lava Hound comes in to tank for the air defense right at the end as the dragons come through. Balloons are having a little bit of an issue due to that sweeper, but the dragons then get it down. They're able to get forward and take down that air defense, whilst the rest of the dragons continue to move around and just clean up this base. So what's fantastic actually is how the dragons, in fact, were able to tank some of the defences so that the balloons could actually get around and take out a lot of the others. So in the end, we do have a couple of pesky air skeletons whacking away at the balloons, but plenty of dragons left over in order to take out the rest of these buildings. And this is one thing I always say about the dragon attacks, guys. Although they're slow and you really need to plan your time efficiently, if you have the AI set up so you can actually control the dragons onto them defences, most of the time you don't have to worry about coming back across the base, because you should have probably cleared up the rest of the buildings anyway. So this attack coming at it with a Witch Slap style strategy, but I really like how this base is dissected. You can see how the air defense are right across the middle there, so we don't have to worry about them taking out any of our healers. And the mortars are equally, you know, not kind of stuck out to the side to try and prevent the Witch Slap strategy. And we basically just walk straight through this base. So it is quite a weird design. It's right kind of one linear fashion that we're taking here. So we have witches coming across the left hand side, the queen coming across the right hand side, and then the king, bowlers, a couple of golems for tankage, and a few witches running straight through the middle of the base. So it is that general strategy that you'll have seen a bunch of times. Depending on how you run it on different bases, you really want your main kill squad, the heavy thickness of your army, to come right through the middle, whilst you have a little team walking around either side as well. And they work brilliantly hand in hand, because the heavy army that you have through the centre tank for a lot of the defences, whilst you can see the ones on the outside here are then able to just pick off the defences rather easily, and it also then is able to control the troops in the middle and keep them on track with them building straight through the middle. So you'll see the Queen still at full health, still has the ability, lots of witches left over that side, Golem even getting healed up now as well, and with only a couple of defences left, this is where the witches then start to really show their power. Towards the end of a raid, as the defences start to go down and there's not as many to pick off them skeletons, they can all of a sudden just blast down the defences and really overwhelm the base. So I just like how that one went down. We will use the Witch Slap strategy as one of the strategies we break down in the Town Hall 9 Best Strategy Series, and we will also use this strategy, which came out on top in my top 3 Town Hall 9 Attack Strategy video that I did not too long ago. So it's really an adapted GoHo style attack. We're taking 3 golems to really push deep into the base. If you can protect the bowlers at Town Hall 9, then you can really finish off an attack brilliantly. It's not like the old style GoHo attacks where you would just come in with a little kill squad and then take out the rest of the base with hog riders. With this style of strategy, we're using 3 golems, 1 on either side with the wizards to create the funnel, 1 to come through the middle, and really you're trying to get 1 if not both of them golems to match up with that golem in the middle as well. And what that really protects when you have 3 golems is it helps your heroes and bowlers just walk straight through the base. So you can see this one, the bowlers in the centre there, just tearing it up. We do have the heal spell, which is very helpful at Town Hall 9 when you do not have them Inferno Towers. Keeping the bowlers alive is obviously very important. So you have the golems tanking, the heal spell there to help. You can see it also helps protect the heroes as well. So the Queen's still at full health, and the ability, because she has a bit more range, she's able to stand behind them troops, and then once they've cracked the core, got through them areas where you're really thinking there might be giant bombs, you can bring the hog riders in surgically, as we somewhat did in this raid. But if you're quite confident there's no giant bombs that you're going to track over with the hog riders, you can just bring them in with more of a mass strategy as well. And you can see here, so many hog riders left over. They split up to take out the mortar and the Tesla at the end there. And zooming out, you can see just how deadly this strategy is. We have wizards and archers doing the cleanup on the back end here. The hog riders are so quick for cleanup, and we still have the king and queen up. So brilliant attack, and a great win here for Elite Gaming. So we are still in running for the playoffs, guys. We may still make it. Make sure to tune in to the Town Hall 9 attacks that I will be bringing you from this war. Also, we will be recapping our next week's CWL matchup this time next week. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. I've been your host, Judo Sloth. Make sure to subscribe for more Clash of Clans, and until next time, peace out, guys. Stay tuned for more Clash of Clans.